Hey, this is MassX with a brand new Horizon Walker video, and in this series that I've been doing at the end of the year, going over some games that probably didn't get much coverage that came out towards the end of the year. This one in particular came out in late October, and this one has two versions of the game that we'll discuss later. But talking about games that, if you're looking for something, things are slow now, and they're games that I found myself still playing. And this one, Horizon Walker, is an interesting one at that. And again, with this one, as you can see, it's another one of those pushes for the scantily clad characters and skins, but the game itself is very interesting. Now, what you're playing with in this game are what they call Vanguards. And these are your characters, and right now you can see the different characters I currently have. The top level of characters that you can see they're leveled at 43 are basically the main characters I've been currently using in this game. But what happens in this game is your MC in this game is actually really good and can be very helpful as you are building up and playing in this game, as well as this character does. You're going to have a host of options for setting this character up differently as you progress and get more. So you can see I have the Divinity of Restoration. These are different skills that I can use. I can also use the Divinity of Protection, which I currently have right now as my on effect. And then you are going to open up more and more as you progress, so you can actually change and set up your MC for this game in multitudes of different ways, which is really nice. And the skill set, everything, it's actually quite creative and nice. Now, when it comes to your characters, it's a little bit more simpler. Okay, you're going to pull your character. You can gear them. They do have their own weapons if you're lucky enough to pull those. You're just going to level them up, and you're also going to skill them up. And those skills, you're going to be able to do enhancements on. Really straightforward, very simple. But one of the things that is, they use a points-based system when you are going into play. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that here real quickly. So if I was to go ahead and open up an area that I was going to say play, to the right you can see the characters here. Well, it's based on the amount of points that you have for you to be able to put what characters in, and they have points to them. So you can edit the formation they're in. You can change the characters out. For instance, if you are looking to move around different characters and try somebody else. But as you can see in the top left hand corner, they have a points. So the one I just took out was 5. I can't put Griselda in because this character has 8 points and I only have 5 currently left on the squad. So you want to set up different team builds based off those points to make it easier for yourself. But it is interesting, so you can't just flood, or it's just not a straight 4 characters. It's going to be based off those points. And I believe where I'm at right now is 17 total points. But either way, if it does fit, then there you go. And your MC doesn't count against it. It's just the characters that will be going along and assisting with that character. And if you're going to deploy into the gameplay, there is auto. I'm going to sound a little bit like a broken record. It's going to really be based on the area you're playing, if you should be autoing or not. Of course, I'm doing a video, so I just do that. But there are a lot of areas in this game where the particular aliens that you're fighting against, it becomes very difficult to auto because they will do these long sweeping attacks where you will know the line of sight of those, and auto seems to not care about that and will leave your characters right in the way of being absolutely decimated sometimes. So I do not recommend it, or at least paying attention enough to know that to turn off the auto when it comes to those times where you need to manually move your characters into particular areas so they do not get decimated. But it is turn-based, And you have all different types of characters in this game. You have some that are healers, some that are more tanky. You have your ranged, snipers. You have your melee attackers, your up close. Like I have two that play off of each other that have been very successful for me. And they're sped up. I use equipment with speed on them, so I get maximization of getting multiple hits and evade, as you can see there. But basically, you go in, like that particular character can poison on top of it. Boom, take out the character. You have means, as you saw there, to camouflage. It's just, there's a lot going on in this game, and I find it tactically fun at times, but not as much of a headache as another video I just recently did. I don't know if it's going to come out before this or after, but that is haze reverb. That one takes a lot of thought in your team setups, and you're also using 9 characters on a grid-based system. This one doesn't take as much. You find very quickly as you're progressing in this game what works, what doesn't, in particular against certain aliens that you are fighting. But the storyline's pretty good in this game. The characters look pretty good. The game itself is independently available to down to APK if you wanted a more of an adult version to play. If you don't care about that, the Google Play Store does have a version of it currently on there. I do not believe it's been released on iOS yet. But if you use Android or PC, you are pretty much good to go at this point. But as you can see, the aliens look good. I mean, the graphics are nice. They're clean and crisp. The character animations they're not chibis. They're full characters. And I've had a lot of fun playing this game. Do I play it for hours on end? No. I usually at reset will put in a little time, maybe 30 minutes, maybe more, get my dailies done, get through my resources. If I'm looking to work on a particular event or build up a character to level up, then I may put a little bit more time on. But the game itself is actually fun, and it's incredibly, in my opinion, free-to-play friendly. And that's one of the most interesting things about this game that we're going to get into after this battle's over, and how the gacha system works in this game, because there is no currency, or I should say premium currency in this game, and everybody just has to pull based on what they use, which is gold. So right now I'm going to go ahead and show you the gacha system. Right now we just have one current banner, as well as the Fairy Net multi-search is always there. So we only have one current banner. They don't bombard you with banners in this game, at least not that I've seen so far in the first 2 months. But basically when you pull, you can use your credits, the gold, to pull on, and everybody has access to that. And what you do is again, and don't get me wrong, you can purchase tickets to forego using your gold, but if you're a free-to-play player, gold is fairly easy to build up in this game if you're playing daily. I mean, I have over 2 million, so you figure at 200,000, that's 10 pulls right there. I'm going to be guaranteed to get the featured character on a limited banner. Now, mind you, in this game, you do have a character banner and you do have their weapon. But based on the character, you may not need any dupes. Like, for instance, for this particular new character, who's pretty good, Griselda, you really don't need to dupe her. But if you can get some dupes of the weapon, it goes a much farther in assisting and helping you out. But it's really just straightforward. You go to there you have, as you can see, I had an EX, so I already had done a certain amount of pulls, and you just hit refresh and confirm, and you'll see that I will use 200,000 of the gold / credits. And there you go. You just open them and you decide if you want to purchase any of them. If you don't, then you just keep pulling. It's really that simple. So let's say I wanted a dupe of Nimset. I can go in, I can choose to get it, and will tell me if I have any contract tickets to get it, which you can get in the game, or if I want to spend actual credits. Really easy stuff, very simple gotcha, and very free-to-play friendly for this game, and it's something I've never come across before, and I think it's very fair system. If you want to buy separate tickets, go for it, but everybody's on the same playing field. It's not excluding anybody from being able to pull on a specific banner, which is really nice. On top of that, you're going to have an assortment of things to do. They're going to have passes. Right now we have a winter event, and they do have events, of course, periodically in the game. And there's a story mode, which I've already completed. And on top of that, you're going to have your basic story, which you have a map with normal and hard. You're going to have extra missions. You're going to have an area where you're going to be able to resource farm. That's your wishes, your bounty, where you're going to be able to farm for equipment, and your Rift Explorer, which is going to give you the items you need to level up your skills. And there's an adventure area where you just see how far you can progress before your team dies out. But the game itself is actually fun, very simple, but misleading because it can be difficult at times. So yeah, and the only other thing you're really going to focus on is your devotion level. This will increase as you go through the story mode. On normal and hard mode, you will get experience for this. Mine is currently at level 40, and of course you can receive your idle stuff, and it will be higher the higher your devotion level is. So it's something that you will be focusing on too. Your squad areas where you can set up different squads. Like you can see right there, like I stated earlier, I have 17 points. This is this squad. This one, because she's 8, I can only do 16 of the 17, but this is another squad that I have been using also. And yeah, it's actually a fair amount of fun. On top of everything else, just because I don't want to completely disregard it, of course you have a way to, whatever you want to call it in the game, affinity, means to build up relationships with your characters, and that's what that Paul Rang talk is. And if you go into, for instance, let's go to the shop area, of course, like we've seen consistently again and again, there is going to be skins that are sold for your particular characters. Now this is the non-adult version, so you can only imagine if you download the APK version what it shows. And trust me when I say it goes even further. And what I mean by that is if you call a character, for instance, to meet up with them, mattering on where you have them at by giving them gifts in your converse section, you can go to a place and, as you can see, massage, bathroom, bedroom. Yeah. I don't think I could show any of it. Well, I probably could on this version, but I'm still not going to. That's up to you if you want to play this game and are interested in that aspect of it. Clearly people are, with the advent of all the changes that have occurred in Snowbreak, as their lane is now put in a dorm type area or finishing up, as well as a host of other areas. But I'm here to talk about the game itself. And yeah, you may want to give this one a try. Again, I think it has potential. And the developers seem to be very interested in what the community says, and adjustments have been made. And it's very free-to-play friendly. So yeah, If you're looking for something to play, especially if that's free to play friendly, this is one I gotta give kudos to. It's one of the higher end ones for free to play friendliest that I've seen in a long time. So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.